Hello, welcome to St. Paul's Edifier. Today we are going to study Standard 8 History. Chapter number 3 Effects of British Rule. Introduction. During the modern period, the various happenings in Europe had its impact on India. Therefore, while studying the period of modern Indian history, the effects of European countries are also seen. We have seen during 15th century the European sailors went on expedition to discover sea routes to India. In 1498 AD, Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama managed to sail past the Cape of Good Hope and reach the Indian coast in Calicut. Past Portuguese, the Dutch, French, British entered the race of capturing the Indian market. East India Company. The East India Company was established in 1600 by a group of English merchants who were granted a royal charter by Queen Elizabeth I. Initially formed to engage in trade with the East Indies, particularly in spices, the company eventually expanded its operation and became a major player in British imperialism in the Indian subcontinent. When the British came to India for trade purpose, the Portuguese had already settled here and they gave a bitter resistance. Later, friendly relationships maintained between them. But to establish dominance over India, the British had to face opposition from French, Dutch, and local rulers. British and Marathas. Mumbai was the main center of British in western India. They were trying to acquire the nearby territories, but the Marathas had strong hold over it. After the death of Peshwa Madhavrao, his uncle Raghunath Rao approached for help from the British due to his greed for Peshwaship. This led to the entrance of the British in Maratha politics. During 1774 to 1818, three wars were fought between the Marathas and the British. During the First War, the Marathas unitedly fought against the Britishers and hence proved superior. In 1782, with the Treaty of Salbai, the First Anglo-Maratha War came to an end. Subsidiary alliance. What is subsidiary alliance? The subsidiary alliance was a system devised by Lord Wellesley, the Governor General of India from 1798 to 1805, to extend British control over the Indian princely states without direct military confrontation. So, when Lord Wellesley arrived in India as Governor General, his objective was to establish the British dominance all over India. For this, he signed the subsidiary alliance with Indian rulers. Under this system, princely states need to accept British protection and maintain British military force within their territories. In return, the British promised to protect princely states from external threats and internal rebellions. Several Indian princely states entered into subsidiary alliance with British East India Company such as Nizam of Hyderabad, Nawab of Awadh, Maharaja of Tanjavur. Similarly, subsidiary alliance treaty was also signed by Bajirao II in 1802. This alliance is also well known as the Treaty of Versailles. But This treaty was not acceptable to some Maratha Sardars, which led to Second Anglo-Maratha War. After the victory of British, there was increase in the interference of British into Maratha state, which became intolerable, and Bajirao II waged a war against the British. He was defeated in this battle in 1818, thus he surrendered to the British. In the meantime, the capital of Mughals was under the control of Daulat Rao Shinde. By defeating the troop of Shinde, General Lake captured the Mughal emperor and gained victory over Hindu. Although the Peshwaship came to an end, but Chhatrapati Pratap Singh of Satara was still ruling. British signed a treaty with him and appointed Grand Duff as an officer to assist him. But Chhatrapati was dethroned and exiled to Kashi, where he died in 1847. Upon that, Rango Bapuji Gupte, a loyal officer of Chhatrapati, fought the legal battle and went up to England, but his efforts were unsuccessful. Later, Lord Dalhousie rejected the adoption policy in 1848 and annexed the state of Satara.